how accessible you can have, the accessibility on your part, and how you want to use it, or how you tend to use it. So let's look at carefully about how things are. But eventually, is this scenario, or these example I've just given, give us an idea that this is the reason why the violence is what it is. We are instigated through these religious books and culture means, or whatever we acquire in our minds, and we take on those paths. Nobody is right or necessarily wrong, but we all have got the same symptoms of error, symptoms of beliefs of sense of right and wrong. We all have the same thing that sort of can bother us or have problems with us in the future, or in this present, at present. And we have that sense of responsibility to make sure that it's really right, that we get it right, that we are making the best effort that we can to adjust to the right mood of life. Where the hatred, the animosity, the vendettism, and all those things will be very much eradicated, if possible, which I believe it can. As long as we hold on to those ideas of negativities, or incitements of negativities from whichever books that we may hold, it will never go away. Now, it's not just burning the book or putting the books in the water or destroying the books isn't the answer. The books has already consumed by people. The words and the letters and the incitement has already entered into the life of people. So how do you get out? That's what this is about. Realization. When one realizes something, he immediately, become very aware of it, and make sure he does not fall into that line. When awareness is like a child that grows at some stage, a child become aware, then he has become so aware because information, he has recognized something, and his recognition lead him to understand that if he used to put his hand in fire, it burns him. They take him away and still put his hand there, and does not recognize anything. He has not got to the stage of recognition, understanding anything. But we as a human race, there are adults, people who most of us have that understanding, and we have to put it to use, making sure that we still don't put our hand in the fire, and if we do, we won't go put our hand in there, because we have that awareness and realization of what the fire can do. The awareness, recognition, that is what can jiggle us to the right mode. Whatever we've consumed, whatever we've been told, whatever culture we have got, we're going to throw it away is by awareness. If you become aware of its potential abilities or its potential damages that is instilled in that as a result is causing you or is bringing to your life and the lives of others, then boom, you become aware of it. You don't sort of pursue things the way you used to, how you used to pursue things, or you are pursuing things anymore. It becomes a past. You revert, you sort of renew your changes. It's something in the Bible also that renew your mind. But as it's used there, it's used in the context of renew your mind to the book. And I'm telling the book, renew your mind, is the same thing as the issue. So if you renew your Bible, if you renew your mind as a Christian, become more in tune to these words of this, incited the words of this book, you have become in the other side of the Quran or the Buddhist and whatever. And they will not allow that, because they have issues. I'm saying that there are issues and they are right if they say so. So am I also right, and others are right also. The Christians are also right about the same. Their books. Whatever intuitions do we get from these things, they are not very much solid. They are all both bad and good, evil and good. So it gives you both. It's like the apple. The Bible talks about, and then you have the knowledge of good and evil. That is what these books are. It gives you the knowledge of good and evil. It doesn't give you the knowledge of good, all good. No, it gives you the knowledge of good and evil. Now, is it good for us to have the knowledge of good and evil? whilst others choose the option of evil, others choose the option of good. And evil always ends up dominating the good. The good losing their life. Eventually, you can see that evil is taking grounds and taking control of life in a very deceptive way and a very hypocritical way. And we have to be very honest about it. I am being honest about it. The facts are there. The books are not necessarily, we're getting rid of whatever thing we've been fed with. It's within us. We have to get that recognition of the damage that is possible that it can do. So if you listen to videos of unveiling the trap, it sort of reveal things, put things openly for you to see that, wow, is that what it says? If it says so, and you've read it, you know it, but have you asked yourself these questions? Is it from the living God or is not? So this entire book I've taken in all this time, being a professor or being whatever it is. I didn't even, it occurred to me that this is what this book was about, inciting me to do or inciting others to do. It didn't occur to you. So when these questions that I ask that makes me recognize it have already been asked by you, then you and I are already side by side. There are others who are not, that needs to know, and needs to have the same awareness. You can approach those of your level with your high academic approach of study. You can make it good. And in other levels also, people will approach people who have the basic and simple knowledge of life. And I believe I'm touching such people on such levels, not a high ranking. And it's also the high ranking because I have a simple approach to the study. I have a simple basic approach to it. I'm not approaching it in a high academic sense of somebody with, very sophisticated, weapon, or sophisticated words, or sophisticated academic approach sense, which will complicate you in any way that makes you think, or struggle to understand. The phrases I use, everything I use is a simple everyday English words. So you should be able to understand, Because if you can't even understand the book that came from your own God, who created you, and he's talking to you and you don't understand, you have to go listen for somebody else to explain it to you. And you ask yourself, does God speak your language? Is it that God you are worshiping, is he the one who really created you? I don't think so. You have gone to see in a shrine like you've seen any shrine. Like you've seen those people you condemn to be gay pagans. It's just that this one, or this approach is more advanced and more refined, and if you are part of the refined state of worship of the Islamic or Christian state of worship, you think that you are not the same like the pagans. I don't know where the difference is. It's just that there are bigger gods, there are smaller gods. Maybe you are bigger gods because there are many of you who are caught up into it. And it's demonstrating something to tell you of believing in a living God. Even though it says living God, you haven't seen him, you haven't have anything. When good things are happening to you, they claiming he's the one that's doing it. Bad things are happening to you, they claim it's the devil that is doing it. And you believe that. Yet you've not seen the devil, nor have you seen the God that you are worshiping. But analytically, just stand back and look at the whole issue about the worship. You ask yourself, is it really God? If it is the one through God, why is it that I can't understand him? He should have known my language too. He could have reached me too. Why did he reach them? Or why is he out there tolerating other religion in whatever it is that they do? Why would he tolerate those things anyway? And if that is that these questions are being asked, you sort of opening up to the fact and the truth that no, it won't be. It's just that whatever it is has been the same way like anybody who is desperate to discover some divine help and decide to say, okay, I would take this item here and I'll worship it. Or I'll take this idea of God that he does this, but he's a spirit. in our worship. That's